Hey guys, that can see us.
For those who aren't waiting for
Ads to play.
ads.
Ads. There they are. Indeed.
Indeed.
New GM,
Hi,
who this?
everyone.
Oh, I guess not everyone has seen you, so.
Yeah, I mean, if they're just going to show up and just be like, oh, hey.
Jeff, is that you?
GM Jeff?
Speak some Korean for us, please.
Annyeonghaseyo.
Oh, God.
We'll wait for this to roll out.
For the ads?
They're like, oh, hey, new guy.
Oh.
Hi, chat.
Oh.
Yes, we do have a new guy.
Hi, is that you?
Oh, so we'll wait for that ad. I wish they would give us a cue when the actual ads would end, so we can actually start the live stream for being what it is.
Yeah.
Versus...
I guess we have to place our trust in chat to let us know.
I think the ad's pretty much done by at this point. It's been a good 30-45 seconds.
Ready?
Yeah, I like how you do that, but there's no watch on your hand.
There's never a watch.
I wouldn't be able to.
I rushed too fast for a watch.
Right.
Time can't keep up.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Kurt Spell live stream.
Yes. Welcome. No, it's a frog. What?
What? There is a snake on Bubble's neck.
There is a snake on Bubble's neck.
Today was actually Pet Day at the KOG Games office. And so...
We have 4 dogs in here and a snake.
This is true.
I protect snake from dogs. Say hi to Alice. Hi, Alice.
So for anyone who is not familiar with who I am, my name is GM Moshup. Been around long time. I just haven't been necessarily in the last couple Kurt Spell live stream videos. Have I? See, yeah, Cat just knows who I am. They're like, whoa! And so I am around daily. Just hadn't necessarily jumped in on the live streams. But yeah, we're gonna drop some truth bombs on you guys today. We have some fun information. We're gonna cover some hot questions, and I want to say that basically, where's GM Crow? Wow, they don't know who Moshup. Oh, we got a bunch of old schoolers in here.
Yeah, they know Crow, right?
They do. So Pi actually had to jump on a plane and head out to see family in Korea. So Pi will not be back until week after next. And then he'll be back for the next Kurt Spell live stream.
Should have just told him we ate pie.
We ate pie.
I had a chicken pot pie for lunch
It
today.
is true. It is not a lie.
Technically.
Pie has been replaced only for the stream. We promise we'll bring back pie.
So I am definitely part of the Kurt Spell team.
Yeah.
I was just been off camera. Wait, do you have your own paper? What paper?
No, the paper is now mine.
All the paper. He now owns all the paper. Yeah, Bubbles ate pie. They're all. We do not.
All my paper.
Hey, Yomikaze, you do that one more time and we'll make sure you will never see any aspect of this community ever again.
Whoa.
Behave, please.
Oh, I have to go on the other one. I will make sure he behaves.
Yeah, we don't tolerate any sort of racist back end. Yeah, Yomikaze, we're done with you, Bo. Take care.
I like this new strict fight.
Yeah, if anybody knows Masha, they know we've been around for a bit. There's a certain way we do business.
This is true. I love this GM. Look, you're already so popular.
That's what I do. Anyway.
It's like pie never left. The first 5 minutes of the stream, a band hammer has already been swung.
Boom.
I like this new GM. He got cool earrings.
So anyway, I have been an Elsword GM for a very, very long time. Before Elsword, I was a Grand Chase GM for a very, very, very long time. So I've definitely been around. I just got to jump in and say hi to you guys every once in a while, more often. We were part of the original launch live stream crew for Kurt Spell, but then I got super, super, super busy, as you guys all know. Just because we're trying to launch a game and it's absolutely, absolutely crazy here. But we're going to go ahead and start off with some Q&A that we got in directly from the devs, and we're going to field some questions that covered a lot of bases. It's not going to cover all of them, but we got some hot buttons that we're going to go ahead and do our best to resolve, and some fun stuff to come up. We also later on are going to show you some information that nobody has seen yet in regards to new content dropping into Kurt Spell for early access.
Yes.
New GM Daddy Long Legs.
Yeah. Hello, Mosh Rushbow. Hey, Jeff.
Oh, it's Jeff. There's Jeff. So Jeff is here.
Yes, Jeff.
A wild Jeff appears.
Pause for
Jeff is always here with that sword, that trusty sword that comes in from being
So-
moderator.
You know what? Let's go ahead and start off with that one right off the bat. Kurt Spell free. Kurt Spell upon launch on early access and going forward is going to be completely free to play.
Yeah.
So go ahead and throw that one out right now. So let's go ahead and start from the top of the list. And a question that's asked quite a bit is, will there be a friends list? So we're not going to have a separate friends list function. There will be the whole friends list. My English is not good today.
Oh, no.
It's okay.
There will be a guild system that will be introduced to the game, and with being able to manage your guild system, you will have an open window where you get to invite people, remove people, and create your own micro community where you're going to be with like-minded people, and you'll be able to then, guild against other guilds and go to war and all that other kind of fun stuff. But we're not going to put too much information as to how expansive the guild program is going to be because it's still under development. Any question?
I'm ready
Guild
for the
Wars.
elitist of guilds.
I'm ready for the elitist.
GBG boys, let's go.
Will there be custom PvP lobbies? So some people would, in reference to games like obviously Elsword,
Yes.
games where you have that screened off lobby where you'll be able to create and stuff like that. A little bit more on that later. There won't be a PvP specific lobby that will allow players to see others like in Elthica. However, in custom missions is a little hint on what we're going to be showing you guys later. You will be able to chat before starting the mission with players that are participating in the mission together. So if anybody's played StarCraft, a lot of Blizzard games that use that same kind of interface, very similar.
Yeah.
Room leader can accept or deny others from participating, and we will obviously be showing you what custom missions look like in a bit. Regions. Hold on, let's go ahead and listen to what Lime Snake is doing.
Lime snake.
Lime Snake.
Okay.
Snake.
Yeah, I was reading through the names going, okay, lime. Oops. Sorry, let me scroll up for you.
I can read it out loud. So, since EU servers are going to take a long time to play on, will we EU players be able to play on other servers even if the ping is not the best, or are we not allowed to sign up at all?
So some information on that, really good question, Lime Snake. The reason North America and South America are going to launch is not necessarily because of strictly time frames associated, because we're basically moving from left to right. We are using a very specific and intelligent cloud-based server system, which will be able to expand or detract to basically optimize connectivity based on the number of players. Not only that, two very large continents are going to be accessing the game simultaneously, which is going to be all of North America and all of South America. We are going to be implementing different localizations for language packs, so we're going to have to introduce obviously Portuguese for Brazil, Spanish, North American. We got Canadians. They're on a different level. We love you guys and girls.
Yes.
But there's a lot that's going to be going on where it's not just necessarily based on content or what regions are going to get the game at what point. There's very, very sound foundations that are going to be put into place. And if and when we do push out on time for the launch of Europe, we're going to have some, hopefully, because I want to let you guys know, I just want to be as transparent as possible. Hopefully, we're going to be able to partner up with some amazing people in Europe to give you guys your own flair. Same thing with Asia. So there's a lot more that's actually going into this than just, oh, hey, we're launching on this date for North America and South America, then Europe, then Asia. So look forward to what we're going to be announcing. We're talking about, tournament stuff. We're talking about partner stuff. Can I confirm with any absolute truth about what's going to be happening yet? Not necessarily, but we have some really cool stuff coming down the pipe.
Yeah, and it leads us to our next question quite nicely.
Absolutely. Will the Middle East and North African region be with the EU? MENA will be included with the EU server. will Russia be with EU?
Yeah.
Or Asia? Russia will also be included with the EU. Israel will also be included with EU. Oceania. This was the trick part. If we try to put our Aussies and our New Zealanders onto Europe, there would be a big, big problem, especially when you have a game that's server-side trust.
Yeah.
That being said, last Angelic, please behave yourself. We don't want, and it's not necessarily fair for those that are going to be in Europe to have the Aussies and the Oceania players on over there. It's also not fair for Oceania because they're going to have that horrible ping, and if they get decked out or they rubber band back and they get obliterated, that's not fun for anybody. So what we're going to do is have Oceania be connecting to our Asian servers. That's going to give you the better connectivity. But what we're going to go ahead and try to work towards is a separate blade for Oceania. And then we want to talk about who's going to be able to access those players without having to interface. And because there's no in-game chat while you're PvPing, so we don't necessarily have to look a whole lot beyond the communication that's going to be ready at that point. So there's a few things that we're playing around with at this point to test out what's going to be in the best interest for all of our players there. Tales from the Crypt, Toronto, Canada here, just wondering, will the game ever be added large... Hold up.
Adding large-scale PvP as opposed to just the 2v2 format shown for all the people in our guilds, etc., that want to play together?
That is a really good question, and I can neither confirm nor deny thinking about adding new content to the game that may expand beyond the 2v2 format.
Yes.
Hint, hint, wink, wink, no promises.
Cross your fingers.
Cross your fingers, man, and just hammer our suggestion boards about that kind of stuff. I cannot stress to you guys and girls enough that if you don't say it, nobody's going to care. If you can't present it in a constructive manner, we're not going to listen. We can't listen. So if you keep coming at us like this, I mean, you guys all have, you guys and girls have already seen that we are making changes to the game based on a lot of thigh sliders. See, that's what I'm talking about.
Guys, ask for thigh sliders. I made the poll for thigh sliders. You just have to ask for it.
Yeah, and you know, based on the sliders that are already in game, do you not think that we're not going to listen? We got to try. We have to try, please, for the thighs.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'd love to see some large-scale PvP. You know what wouldn't love to see our large-scale PvP? Our servers. So that's going to take a lot of work, guys.
In terms of a 10,000 times 10,000 match.
Armpit slider.
Imagine. But yeah, if you the comments, the suggestions and feedback channels, the more you guys post in it, and even if someone already mentioned it before, even if you mention it again, the more people ask for it, the more notes that we take over it, that we take for whatever you're asking. Sorry, I stuttered.
Don't worry about it.
Thick
Thick thighs are life.
It's okay.
I don't remember, that just flew right by. Will the regions, all the friends, will be on North America? Am I okay to play with, hold up. Play with them on launch as I plan to play on NA as I do with other games? Absolutely not. I hate to say it like that, but the reason that the regions are locked is for the first time in KOG history, we are using a game that is server-side trust. And so you would not be doing your friends any favors if you are accessing from overseas. So if you have two buddies that are playing from LA and Colorado, and if you're playing from Egypt and you jump in and you ping that team, the whole room is going to feel it. So when you have a server that's literally being optimized in real time for those that are on that specific server and region, that comes into where also the Steam access. So Steam it's very much so going to be region specific. So North America is going to be North America, South America is going to be South America. We're still working on how the blades are going to line up and who's going to be accessing what, especially for obviously localization and everything else like that.
Will the patches be aligned upon release?
Will the patches be aligned upon? Oh, we're not throwing up. Hey Jeff,
this is how we contact Jeff now.
I know. Okay, let's summon the Jeff.
Reminds me of when Pi last stream was like, I don't know, let me have a conversation with Jeff. Hey Jeff!
And so I'm going to go ahead and throw this out here first. Yes, wow.
Well, there you go.
Call and you shall answer. Are we going to be running a legacy server legacy content that runs across all 3 regions. So when Europe launches, we're going to be on the same patch cycle as North America. When Asia launches, are we going to be on the same patch cycle as Europe and North America? And you confirm that for me, or at least can give us some direction. Don't know who is talking. I am GM Moshup, Kobe.
Yes.
Nice to meet you. The guy with the star hat is such a loser.
Oh,
Well, you
no.
know, losers should probably want to spell it loser. Thanks.
Goodbye.
Roasting our Twitch chatters on the stream. Wonderful.
Oh, what?
Tell her
Roast-
how it is.
Roast and I land the hammer.
Moshup Loki Savage.
Wait till I get my
All
we
seven
can just get
content will be
warmed
the
up.
same, says Jeff.
There we go, guys. You has it. Directly from
Also,
the Jeff.
responses will be the
The Jeff.
The Jeff. Thank you, Mr. Jeff.
Thank you.
Alrighty. You guys have any other questions on, is that a snake? Can I hug it? Oh my gosh.
We'll do a formal introduction. This is Voodoo. He is currently very shy right now. He is Moshup's son, one of his many
Or
sons.
one of my sons.
One of his sons.
And he actually enjoys Bubbles' company.
Yes.
And he's probably out cold, actually.
Yeah, I think he's sleeping right now.
Yeah, he's sleeping.
He's just like, I'm tired of this.
You have more than one?
Yes,
Aw.
I do.
Now they want voodoo snake scarves as a cosmetic.
Right. That's me. Well, I'm a sucker. Like if they ever did like a what do you call it? Mythology pack, like Medusa, everything.
Oh.
Everything. Or if they do like a Southeast Asian, like the Naga or anything like that. Oh, so rad.
Yes. Snake scarf sounds dope. I love voodoo. The snake
This is
is
one of the accessories that will be featured in Kurtzbell.
I know.
Imagine.
EU will be seriously July. No. EU is targeted at the moment for June. Asia is targeted for July.
We have the dev notes posted on our website for you guys to review the current release dates.
Okay, ready?
Moving on.
next thing on our amazing sheet paper.
Here we go. Will there be an option to go solo in PvE and still receive affinity and drops? Now this is where we start getting into in-game meta. While you will be able to play solo PvE through replay missions functions, you won't be able to obtain any rewards such as affinity, AP, CP, or other items. So you can do it for grind, but you're not going to have any rewards for it. Once you knock it out solo, the nature of the game and the very backbone that Kurtzbell is built on, 100% is co-op. So we want you guys to be able to co-op with people. We want you to be able to PvP. You can't PvP by yourself. I don't want to hear about it. Whatever PvP you're doing by yourself, good on you. I'm not going to judge.
Keep it to yourself.
But yes. I go one-man army. I love you guys already. All right, but like I was saying, the very backbone on everything that Kurtzbell is built on is co-op and PvP. Hey, Masha, when are you replacing Pi? Are you kidding me? We're homies. Like, literally, we're homies. What will you do about people using VPNs? Good question. We're actually going to be working directly with Valve and Steam, and they have a very robust system on how to put a stop on a lot of that VPN stuff, because it's not fair. If you're VPNing, you're doing nobody any service, and on a server-side trust game, you're not doing yourself any service either. So, that's what it is. International student Canada here still have questions about the language, like will Chinese add into the game soon, no matter simplified or traditional. In the Asian version, there's going to be a number of different languages that we're going to have access to. So actually, whether simplified or traditional, that's a good question.
Yeah.
So we will definitely get more to that. As soon as we start getting closer to the Asian launch, we'll let everybody know what is going on. Uncomfortable, where's Pi?
MX, stop spamming. I see this the second time you posted that large wall of text.
Valve anti-cheat is actually amazing. It's pretty robust.
Yeah, it's true.
Do you plan to expand your Irvine team eventually? Kurtzbell takes off and does all the things that we needed to do? Absolutely. So the more people we're able to add to the team, the better we're going to be able to create, the better and faster we'll be able to create content. We'll be able to handle balance at a more real-time basis. Well, as fast as you can. I mean, game balance on backbone changes is rough and takes time. But absolutely, if we get Kurtzspell to do all of the popular things, and Kurtzspell takes off, we have every plan in the world, of course, to be able to expand the team. Okay. Will the game have infinite rebirths? As long as you have character rebirth tickets, there will be no limits to the number of rebirths that take place.
Yeah, there you go.
Are name reservations available?
Oh, this is a big one.
Mm-hmm.
Negative. Just as in with most games, I am hurting today, man.
I know.
So, as with most Steam games that don't necessarily use name reservation properties, first come, first serve.
So
Samurai swords to the death over names. Can you go into more depth on info and rebirth tickets? And so, is there a... Oh, okay, hold on. We'll come back to that. Some of the stuff in a minute. We're getting...
yes.
Oh, good question. Edward Wang. When Asia launches, will there be a language pack available for North America for Chinese?
Okay.
Good question. That one, actually, I got to write that one down. That's a really good question.
Put that down too.
Language packs for NA. I mean, obviously, like Spanish, Chinese. I mean, like especially in SoCal. I mean,
Yeah.
from Vietnamese to Khmer. There's a lot of different,
Languages
that are just
spoken.
actually right here. Actually, then a little bit. I mean, you look at K-Town, LA.
People can survive just.
Well, basically, K-Town, LA has just as many people as Busan does in Korea.
Mhm.
So there's a huge population. All right. Yes, Katemazu is free to play. Kurtzspell will be free to play. All right.
Keep the spam down, guys.
Can
please.
DLC karmas be obtained through mission grinding?
Dang, say Kamai, right? Props, I like you. Okay.
Yes. All of the content to this point, there will be no pay gate. The pay gate is going to be on cosmetic items only. So all of the karmas are going to have a free to play option available. Is it going to be easy? Hell no. But that's the point. I mean, that's going to be some of the content to get to it. Clip it. Go ahead. But all of the cash content is going to be cosmetic. DLC exclusive karma. Negatory.
Yes.
That's the definition of pay to win. Because if you pay gate content that could affect the actual outcome of PvP or how PvE is moving out, that's ridiculous.
Mm.
But pay to win, well, time is money, right? So some people, I mean, Rush can tell you I'm one of the first people. If I can't get right into PvP and start breaking faces, I get really upset. And so this game is going to force me to get in and grind it out and,
Yes.
and push it through, and then I'm going to lose my patience.
I
And then
will drag Mosh into every mission.
I hate you.
Man, let's go.
Elsword, they're all.
Drags.
Oh yeah, Elsword players are just like literally. They were like, what was it? Mosh raid win. I'm like, get out of here. That's in-game content. I PvP. They're not hearing it, man.
Yeah,
Horrible.
it's okay. I will find a way to make Mosh grind.
How long? This is a good one. How pay to look good? There you go. I like that.
Fashion is endgame.
Fashion is in. You're so right. How long is early access? And this is going to affect a lot of, obviously, our North American, South American players, European players, and Asian players. Early access is going to be pushed back. I'm not going to give you an exact date. Months after Asia launches. So, I'm not going to say what month, but you will have time. So if you want to get a hold of a Founders Pack that is going to be launched and will be available until early access comes to a close, you will have access. So North America, Europe, and Asia will all have ample time to go ahead and get a hold of a Founders Pack. how many races are we going to get? That is a awesome question that I wish I actually knew the answer to. So, contrary to popular belief, we're an indie studio. So, contrary to popular belief, Kurtzbell team is actually a very small team. And so being able to dev content for Karma and dev content for entirely new races, which actually impact the game both on the PvP and PvE side, big. So it's going to take some time. We will have a better idea on what our content rollout schedule is going to look like after the launch, obviously, of Asia. Do we already have stuff in? Yeah, like you guys were already talking about Duel.
Yes.
Of course. We already have content that we have planned to launch out, but if we start launching new Karma, and the Karma impact on the game itself is brutal, and we have to spend that much time going back and rebalancing and stuff like that because we can only test so much, and that's where we're going to need your help. And we're going to be very transparent about that. What do you guys think on creating race
exclusive karmas where only some races can use certain karmas?
I like the whole paper rock scissors mentality. I mean, that's old school PvP stuff where, you know, unless you're not rocking like an assassin,
I know.
That was the Achilles tendon to you know, running 2 tanks or, you know, mage killers. Back in the day when literally if you saw a robe on the battlefield, unless you were running assassins, that dude was just going to spill damage all over the battlefield. I like the idea, but I don't know if I'd go that way because everybody wants to kind of look the way that they want to look, and everybody wants to play the weapon that they want to play. And if you start getting into race specificity, then you run into a big issue because if, you know, one person wants to rock this super like ridiculously like long like old school elven longsword, but you can't use the weapon unless you're an elf, but you want to do it as a dwarf. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm thinking it's going to be ridiculous, but we need to be able to let people play the way that they want to play without that kind of restriction on either race or karma locking that, or gosh, even like sex, you know what I mean? Like, can, you know, female characters only be the ones that can do this?
Yeah.
We don't want to limit your waifus.
Or like a new Karma come out.
That's just
Right.
the best
And
way
then
to
it's
say
like,
it.
yeah, new Karma. Oh, it's for dwarf only. Oh.
Or female only?
Yeah.
Well, I would say how many female characters we actually have in the game versus male. Yeah, I saw the numbers. You guys are, yeah. All right. How many character slots will be available? As many as you can purchase.
Mm-hmm.
You can purchase a character creation slot increase ticket to increase your character slots. There will be no, you can clip this if you want, there will be no limits to the number of character slots you can create.
So go for it. Make 74 characters named, I don't know.
74 characters.
Yeah.
Character 1, character 2,
Character 3.
character 4, names taken. No, you did not!
Who did this?
I will find you.
Saying the game is just A, B, C. Try and continue the chain and then someone just interrupts it.
Oh, I'd rage.
Delete all characters. Not here.
Name will no longer be available for 10 days. Ha! Will Dual Souls be available in the Founders Pack? I know this is a big one. Dual Soul will not be available in the Founders Pack, as Dual Soul will be updated at a later time. Once Dual Soul is updated, Dual Soul DLC package will also be added to our shop. There you go. We can go ahead and we're kind of looking over the questions that are going around right now. So new karmas.
What is Dual Soul? Dual Soul is the new introduced karma. It's pretty much dual blades.
Dual wheel, smaller blades.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine dual Talia?
Oh no.
Please.
Imagine
You
just spinning
run
around like a giant
dragging
Beyblade.
swords.
The game frame per second is being optimized. And they're on it, man. Because I mean, that's, you don't ever want to walk into it like a hub and literally watch it. It's
Lag into oblivion, pretty much.
until you catch up with everybody, and all of a sudden everybody starts moving. It's like the old auction house stuff. But do you plan on events and contests involving the community like fan art and stuff? Hell yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
I mean,
something I like.
we wouldn't have these two hanging with the community if that wasn't definitely something where, is there going to be a scythe karma? I've seen that question so many times. It's nuts.
And you will continue to see it.
Of course, until it actually goes into the game, right?
It's not a Kurtzbell stream unless if you see it.
If you guys do not keep hammering our suggestion opportunities with please put in a side karma. But I mean, we only see it in stream. I mean, granted, we have the Jeff. He is here,
Yes.
and he can definitely curse spell merch. Yes, we're working on it.
I think Jeff knows very well about the size karma since Jeff is here every stream.
If he doesn't, I'll just go ahead and remind him again.
just poke. Hey Jeff.
Hi, Jeff. It's me,
Yeah, that's size.
Shield Karma.
Reflexito,
Shane karma.
we will have rebuff system. We will have rebuff system. Yes.
How many character slots do we start with? Good question.
Also, good question. Shield hero karma. I see the inspiration. from the anime.
Anime.
I'm hyped for the anime. I like it. I'm with you guys on that.
So would you guys include Mari, the time traveler?
Would you guys include Mari the Time Traveler in the game? Also, will you guys create other lobbies that look different from the lobby that we have now in closed beta testing and alpha?
Not yet. Again, that's definitely going to be something that we're going to want to see. Now we have to, honestly, we have to prioritize the suggestions as to, you know, critical versus cosmetic. But there are some cosmetic suggestions that are absolutely epic, and so that they'll bump it up. So please, I cannot stress this enough. You guys need to let us know. Like, put it in writing. Don't just hit it up in the chat. Even though I love seeing it in the chat, and obviously we're going to take note, but we're going to do this.
Currently, pricing for anything has not been confirmed, by the way. For anybody's asking for price points on any Founders Pack or DLC karmas.
That will actually be updated very soon. Very soon. Are we going to have full glamour system that lets us use both avatar gear and regular gear with toggles for each body part? That's also a good question. That level of customization is something that we are taking into consideration. Two colored eyes option? Possibility.
Oh, the odd eyes.
Ooh, I like
Right? Okay, so what colored eyes here? Gotcha news.
Put it in the
Speed
suggestions and
versus
feedback,
landing
guys.
height, how will these relate? There is no run speed modifiers as of yet. That's a whole lot. But you know what game used to do that with Ashram's Call way back in the day?
That's incredible attention to detail.
But they put it by stat. And so you can basically manipulate the stat to reflect on how you build the character. But yeah, nothing that complicated. Okay, so Nepgear, we're gonna touch base on pricing here very quickly. So you guys are gonna hear us back on the pricing very soon. Working towards fixing the awkward running animation. We're working on optimizing.
Yes.
We're working on optimizing, and specifically, they were bringing up the movement animations. So be prepared.
Is trade, what is that? I saw one trade something about trading in the game.
Has there been consideration to corridors in missions similar to Warframe or Elsword, in which there are corridors with small enemies and a boss at the end? Ah, yeah, dungeons. So basically, mob crawl,
Yeah.
boss fight, mob crawl, boss fight. Not yet. Now the PvE in Kurtzspell, you guys can get us later on this as far as suggestions for later. The PvE in Kurtzspell was based to be a raid style big boss system. You see a couple ads or a couple duels and stuff like that already in some of the different boss fights. More PvP, more PvE, I know, man. But we are, for the time being, it is still, Pi is actually in Korea. For the time being, we are focusing on the raid system, on the from the PvE side. We have a couple bosses that will split, but it's what it is.
Yes.
For now. So
Sinnoh Seal
I tried
2,
to
will we
hold it
be
in.
able to get Doso Karma from grinding, or is it only for people that buy the pack?
no, it's always the only paywall that you're gonna hit is for cosmetics.
So that means all the karmas,
All
the
karmas.
DLCs will be obtainable through mission grinding. So yes, there's no current DLC only karma where it's like no.
Will players have any influence in the Kurtzspell world going to co-op again?
Will players have any influence in Curveball world? I mean, building don't suits this game, but event special missions that have done by enough people can permanently/temporarily alter how some places look or unlock new.
That's it. I like the question. The circumstances that we would have to take into consideration, because we can do instanced appearances, especially walk through a corridor, instances out like that, something we could potentially do.
Yeah.
How will Kurtzspell folks stop players from VPNing in? We don't have to. Even though we will have our own security protocols, Steam has some very robust protocols.
Yes.
Do we get an exclusive cloak if we sign up for the Kurtzspell Partner Program?
Say with an accent so it sounds fancy.
Well, how do you wear a cloak and not be fancy? How do you not be fancy and not wear a cloak?
You could look edgy and not fancy. Just full edge.
Who's edgy and wears a cloak? What edgelord? Because if they're wearing a cloak, to me they fall right off that
I'm trying to
edgelord
think of a
thing.
cool Harry Potter character, but all the characters' names like elude me right now.
They have cool characters.
Maybe cool is just Batman. Everyone's just Batman.
He's wearing
No,
a
that's a
cape, not a
cape.
cloak. There's a
And
difference,
if you want to get
guys.
crazy, it's a cowl.
The other guy,
It's a caped cowl.
Reaper.
The Grim Reaper's not edgy.
He has a sight though.
A guy
Side
said
karma.
a guy did say Moon Knight.
Moon Knight?
Darth,
No, that's still a cowl.
Darth Vader.
That's still a cowl. Well, it's a hoodie, right?
Yeah, sensational.
Ooh.
That is a real snake.
Cloak.
Yes, literally, it's
Cloak.
in the name, right?
Cloak.
We were
And
talking,
Cloak is in Cloak and Dagger.
talking about Cloak, and then we didn't even think of the character.
Cloak.
Literally named Cloak. Like the answer was just.
And even his powers are edgy. You know what I mean? The older and older he got, the guy would just became crazy. Cloak karma. He just turns into a big black hole. It's like I step onto battlefield with cloak karma, all die. Okay, so here we go. We are now moving on to the next bit of information that nobody has seen as of yet.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go ahead and hand it off to GM Rush. And our community is being watched and attended to by GM Bubbles. Your time.
Alright, guys. So now we're gonna have a special video prepared by GM Jeff for you guys.
GM Jeff, thanks for the vid.
So everyone be quiet and we will play it.
Here we go. Introducing the custom mission.
Yes. So this is the lobby for all your player missions and your custom missions. You'll be able to select 2v2 or 1v1. All the maps will be PvP only, as you guys can see, conquest, all that stuff. You have max of 4 spectators. You can pick either 2v2 or 1v1. And yeah, you can start the room as a spectator or as a player. You can close spectator spots, as you guys can see. I will lower down the music so you can see the comments. I did lower it down at the start, so yeah.
Okay, they don't.
You can see win rates. No, they couldn't hear me because the music was loud, but now the music's good. So as you can see, everybody's in. Everyone does need to accept the match so that the match can start. If a player does decline, then the match won't start, as you guys could see. And once the match gets going, you head straight into a match. And yes, Katamazu, you do need 300 CP to create a custom lobby, so no new players coming in be like, here, custom lobby.
Yes, Dead Grim, you guys are getting your 1v1s.
Yes. 1v1s and 2v2s.
1v1 for the main character for
So you guys can see in the game, as a spectator on the top there is 1 and 2. This refers to different players. So you can change viewpoints as a spectator. So this would be good for you guys that are playing organized tournaments.
And it may also be something that we may be using for organized tournaments.
Yes.
Official.
So the screen you can see now is for as a player joining the room, not a room creator. So you can enter as a player or enter as a spectator. You will need the room leader's approval before you get in. So You can't just join a random room if the room leader doesn't like you. So keep that in mind.
Hey, the sobs, actually CP and AP are in-game currencies. It is not pay to play.
Yes. Yes.
Where can I buy a waifu jacket?
Oh, it's so pretty. So this is now the 1v1 screen, as you can see the spectator on the top went down from 2 different characters to 1. So now you can see yellow fighting with the Dance of Winds.
Wow, she thick. Come on, you guys don't miss nothing.
It's literally an arrow versus arrow matchup.
Not thick. Dang it.
So there you have it.
All right, any questions really quick? Well, unfortunately, we were actually going to start pausing this, but our interface that we have built up on this particular noob stream, we did not get set up in time. So that's my bad.
See.
Don't say see.
See.
I owned it.
Hi. I will help you own it. I will own half of it. Or 1/3 of it.
How many characters can be made per account? As long as you buy the character option, you can purchase as many as you'd like.
Yes.
I think they're asking how many characters you start off to. I believe it's only how many?
That we haven't confirmed yet. Yonaro, important question. Are cosmetics statted? No.
Yes, and as Jeff kindly added, we will be adding a 3v3 for the custom mission at a later date.
Bam! 3v3. Already expanding and we haven't even launched yet.
Yeah.
In the future, can we have KOT tournaments locally for Elsword and Kurtzspell? And,
Big events like Evos. I guess they want to do like.
you're reading my mind. Are we going to go to Evo? I don't know yet. Are we talking? Possibly. Are we actually talking to other people that would expand beyond Las Vegas and Evo and possibly into Europe and Asia? Yes. South America? Yes. So we'll give you guys an update at a later time. No promises. I like basically having the ability to go do these things and got a pretty good track record.
Yes.
But we gotta see. We're gonna see how it goes. Katana Karma.
Could spell Evo 2020.
Not many people can get all the way out to Vegas, man. That's
That's
a
true.
that's a even that's like 5 hours for us.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
I have a question. PvE content, can we do it alone? You can do PvE content alone, but you're not going to get any credit for it. So we're not going to stop anybody from replaying 1B, but you're not going to get the prizes. The problem is that it's not functioning as intended. Human, as of right now, is the only race in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any plans to release the new?
Whoa, that was fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it shot up really quick. Is there any plans
This?
to this one?
No, not yet, Askichi. We're not releasing any dev tools for. We're not going to be doing that kind of custom stuff yet. We're not going to be doing mods
Yes.
yet. But that's actually a really good suggestion. Oh, hold on, slow roll, slow roll.
Okay, let me slow mo this.
Thank you.
I'm gonna
Yes.
slow mo this for y'all.
Alright guys, we need to read questions, so it would
Okay, very good question from Rain's Edge. Is trading in the game, and to what degree? Not yet. We already have a bunch of different ideas that we have on the plate on what we're going to be considering for a potential trading option, but we haven't locked anything down yet. So will it be available? We're going to try to get this out in some capacity, but not yet. We haven't been able to figure out what's going to work best for the game itself and what is going to be best to offer for the community as of right now.
Let's see what else is there. Will cosmetics be available for purchase on the Steam market?
On the Steam market. Will cosmetics be available to purchase on the Steam market? I'm going to say it would behoove me to drop a hint that there may be a costume available on the Steam market, aka DLC. Or are you talking like Steam Marketplace? Which one? We need some
Oh, more elaborate.
elaborate, please.
Mhm.
Steam Market is in like DLC or Steam Market is in like the proper noun? Marketplace.
I only get to send one message every 2 minutes. I should not waste my message.
They gotta make it count.
Marketplace. That's what I thought. We're looking into the marketplace. Yeah, they're talking like actual like Steam Marketplace. We are looking into it. We have DPS calculations and graphs that also tracks how much damage each skill does and how much time we run. Good question. To what capacity we need to be able to track that? If we're going to keep the game competitive as far as the integrity goes, of course, we're going to have to. Is that available right now? No. But I think a graph, like DPS graph, would be really, really good.
Yeah.
But it'd have to be tailored to what kind of DPS you're dropping. I mean, a standard DPS, and this has already been proven on many different games. Standard DPS and how it's rendered can't be used if it's a blanket graph. Like if you're going to have a mage, which has to utilize other methods to avoid damage in order to do damage, your standard DPS is no longer applicable. It is to the blunt, like, you know, if I hit X 3 times, I do this much damage. Another character, I hit X 3 times, I do this much damage. That's great, but when those characters get hit 3 times by that X, this character gets deleted, and this character shrugs it off.
Yeah.
That DPS, that information is still useless. So we got to figure where we're going to put the variables to make that information applicable. Better male hairstyles. You know what? I think that the male hairstyles need more. I don't necessarily think, because I know I've seen a lot of the different male characters, like they're really popular hairstyles. We just need more hairstyles. I agree.
I see people asking for more male hairstyles and actually facial hair too. They want their beard.
Why would they want facial hair?
Some people like mustaches.
You don't say.
You have a mustache too.
Thank
Don't
you.
like yours?
More male hair.
I
Wow.
was being cynical.
Oh!
Roll with the joke!
Not funny.
Since the game is free to play, can't people who use VPN just make a new account? No, because if you use a VPN and you have a Steam account, you VPNing off the same IP, what's called a machine ID, doesn't change. Your VPN is just your how you're registering an IP. So if your machine ID doesn't change, aka you're using the same computer, which is detected by Valve, they're just going to get nerfed. Is there any way to break CC so in PvP you don't get 100? Oh, that. Yeah, we're gonna have to talk about competitive integrity a little bit because there are going to be some changes going into early access. So you can't speak about that right now. That conversation would blow wide open. Have you guys considered giving players?
Have you guys considered giving players the option to do cross-region play? Because region locking your player base might really affect the reception of the game as well as players who have lots of friends in other regions.
I love the emotion behind that. However, what your friends in North America are going to hate is your ping in EU. So you see them rubber banding and snapping back on positions and stuff like that, and they start freeze framing because your ping on your EU server and our ping on the NA server, which don't necessarily run cross traffic, are still going to have to cross the Atlantic Ocean in order to communicate. It's not going to be fun. Are we going to be able to look into that so that maybe we can do like a cross server, like best of the best for NA, EU, and Asia, including South America, with the server being in Brazil? That'd be a rad idea.
That's really cool.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
But are we going to be able to do it in real time across continents? No, you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Firstbell TV, will characters on the same account share rank?
In-game money.
Oh.
It would be separate per character.
It's going to have to be. Is it actually? Jeff, I call upon you. Jeff, please. Sir Jeff.
Yes.
Where you at?
Jeff. Senpai.
Jeff Usama, please, let us know.
Yes.
Is currency account-based versus character-based? Makes sense in Elsword, where each character actually exists in a world of its own. Grand Chase, it was character-wide, so even KOG.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes. Question mark.
Is game currency and rank account-wide or character-specific?
For instance, if a character is G rank, if he helps another character, is that character also G rank? Can they give money from one character to another?
We're waiting. So Jeff.
We'll wait.
GM Jeff. I wish GM Jeff was here with me again.
Right?
So the first live stream we did was actually Pi, myself, and Jeff.
Account.
Account! There you have it! Make as many characters as you want.
Wow.
Do it! Bang.
Everyone's like, account!
Do you already have any GM teams for South America? We might. We might.
Jeff is spoken.
The Jeff is spoken. No, but I was gonna say I wish Jeff was here with me because I can't like make him uncomfortable by doing my silly dances and stuff like that. You can kind of just like see him sink back into his chair, but he actually laughs. I love his sense of humor. Pi's the one that threatens to get violent.
Yes. It's okay. I'll stick in my chair.
Nice. More defensive options. Very good question. I'm not the guy to talk to in regards to character viability, in regards to balance, because if we just give all the glass cannons more defense options, guess what? We no longer have glass cannons. Now we've got tank mages.
Yes.
The look on your face when you say tank mage, like shudder.
Whenever people speak certain terms around me, I can visualize it very clearly in my head. Exactly what I'll be facing, and it's not a pleasant thing.
We'll have to pay on USD for costumes. Because we are Steam based, even with the history that we have with Steam, you notice that the majority of different region country currencies are accepted at their rate. Wait, but Chung is tanky and does a ton of damage. But that's different. Chung is all Chung. Chung, if you're playing CC, is extraordinarily slow unless you learn how to modify his movement. Ask Rush. He would rather kill himself than play CC again.
I haven't played CC at all, so you can't use the word
You
again.
were leveling. You were leveling your CC.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Oh, your Iron Paladin. Sorry, you were moving your way up to CC.
Can we do a stat transfer options to choose stats that we like from one costume piece to another that we prefer to wear?
Costumes aren't going to have sets. Cat girls race, please. Park or housing system. Where are you gonna put it? Unless you want like an instanced, almost like the guild.
Just have like a portal.
Like
that
yeah,
leads to
portal
another world.
to your own little blade.
My whole new world.
Okay, actually, I want to see what he was just talking about right
This
now.
one? Mocha?
Sorry. I like the snake. What kind is it? By the way, how do you guys tend to advertise this game? See, look at this. Because he has been asking that question quite a bit. So I'm sorry for going over that. This was not necessarily a marketing meeting. But we have a number of different options. Like, as you can already tell, you haven't seen any banner ads for Kurt Spell. Different concepts to reaching out to the type of players that would enjoy Kurt Spell. I mean, the fighting game players. Obviously, the anime fighting game. So, you know, if you like X game, obviously... No, not quite as obviously as you may think, or you wouldn't be asking the question. Getting the message out to different regions is completely different. What you're using in the US, you can't use in Europe. What you're using in the US and Europe, you cannot use in South America. And what you're using out in Asia, it just does not work. Hey, it's Fades. Goodbye. Where's the... It's okay, it's Nickel. Thank you. Will the costumes be all characters on the account? You know, okay, so that was actually a good question. This was something I was talking to the design team about, and that was all of the costumes are actually unisex. So each costume, whether male or female, will actually tailor to the body build that you have specific to that character. And I think it's really cool because having that same costume on either a slight frame female or a larger frame female completely changes the attitude of the costume. Yeah. So that's actually part of the character creation process that you got to take into consideration, especially if you're going to be manipulating how the character is going to look. Because certain characters, like you get this big, like shoulder pauldrons and stuff like that, and you put it on this like little small frame character, and it looks like you're wearing dad's armor. I mean, but anyway.
And I'm sure you guys would be using the rebuff system, maybe like a new karma. It's like, oh, maybe with this karma, I want my character to be a bit more bulky, so they use rebuff system, change it, and then you look at your costume going, now my costume set doesn't work.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say, Kyo. All of the costumes are unisex, so you can put the same costume. So you're basically looking at the costume design and trying to figure out on whether it's gonna work well on your character or not, or if you need to make a new character or change your character. Slow mode. The purpose of this for PvP so that's more equalized than perhaps PvP. We are working on stat normalization for an equalization or reconciliation for PvP. Yeah, we're looking for new questions, guys. We've pegged a lot of these guys already. You can make traps? Yes. Duh. Are you kidding? Will Kurtzspell be able to work with an ultra-wide monitor size? That's something we got to hit our compat team up with. So compatibility is going to have to give me a better idea, so I can't necessarily confirm or deny that one. Founders Pack prices, which races? Okay, Founders Pack, or all of the pricing that we're going to have for launch DLC will be announced later. Gotcha in EA or EU?
Early access.
Early access.
Gotcha. Oh, you're
We're
talking
looking
about
for a
the
gotcha
boxes.
system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we are familiar with the different laws with any of the law boxes or the gotcha boxes and chance boxes and stuff like that. So we're already taking precautions in regards to how we're going to address those areas. More on that later for sure.
Can you rebirth for free, like farming out rebirth token? Just rebirth for free, like farming out a rebirth token, or is it only purchasable through the shop?
Good question. Actually, in the recent version, have we seen rebirth tokens drop or rebirth tickets drop?
Not that I've seen.
We're gonna have to get back.
I'll make a note of that.
Yeah,
Good question.
for sure.
Thank
We'll get
you.
back to you. Yeah. Somebody said up above, are we going to have English VO? Yes. Yes, we are.
Yes.
Yes. And I believe, wasn't that announced on one of the recent updates?
I believe so.
Yeah. So on the web. So it was one of the early ones. So if you scroll by it, yeah, you would have gone through it. So we will be having English VO come early access launch.
I like this one.
And the some of you may actually recognize the return of some of the voices, especially if you guys are Grand Chase players. Obviously, since this is in the realm of Grand Chase.
Like a parallel universe kind of thing.
891, close guess, but that's Elsword. So there was a very special girl that came back to visit us, and she's one of the NPCs that uses a bow. You may recognize her. And there's also a gentleman with fiery hair that uses gauntlets or a blazing fist.
Hinting at people.
Oh, Ronan, they take Ronan. No, I know who you're trying to get me to say voice Ronan. It's not going to happen. I don't care how much he sounds like Kirito. I don't care how much he sounds like him. I didn't confirm nothing. Nothing. Will other Grand Chase characters be making an appearance in Kurtzspell? I am not confirming that. Since it is the world of Grand Chase, I mean, you figure this happened, was it 1500 years? No, because Jin was only locked up for 500 years.
Yeah.
So this took place a long time after the Grand Chase. The original Grand Chase had been disbanded, and they've all become, almost gods at this point. Masters, if you will, at that. Did anyone else survive? Only time will tell.
Who knows?
Who knows?
See.
Oh, I know. The design team knows, at least for now. But you'll have to find out. What's up with the training mode update? Seems like the core of a PvP combo-based game was lackluster, and the CBT, things like AI options would be sick. That would be sick, and there are some things that we are taking into consideration in regards to upping the game on combos, and especially the fluidity and application thereof.
I think he wants training mode.
Training mode? Oh, for like combat?
So he can practice combos?
Practice
and
combos.
Dummies better?
I trying to remember what was more. Make that suggestion, because you're gonna have to remind us a bit later.
Yes.
If Ronan is dead, Erudon, I would too. if there was one character that they were literally just going to be like, and even if he did, give him like a hero's like epic like blaze of glory ending, and it has to be
It's like a cutscene kind of thing.
like Shield Knight too. Has to be yeah, dude. Like seriously, like to out Ronin, he would need like an anime cutscene, anime finish.
At least, kind of. I would love to see. I'm just happy Jin made.
Well, you and I love to, and I would pitch this concept to our dev teams, to just my own personal thing. So in Grand Chase, when you used Ronin, oh gosh, what's this Shield Knight characters? There's my flipping main. Dang it! Every time you move, Aegis Knight. Thank you. Every time you move towards an attack, he tanks the attack and absorbs it, but hops forward. And so on a combo, if Liar flipped out 3 arrows on an arc, I could jump up, and as long as I hit towards that attack, what direction it comes from, I could basically dance and hop, following her arrow path. Now, can you imagine in this game, literally, if you tank, and you see the path of travel of the ranged bullets coming in, and it literally hops and chains to wherever the original caster was, I'd be like, shoot me.
You're getting there slowly, but safely.
Oh no! Because if they click out a volley and you clink on every single hit, it
yeah.
follows the chain,
Yeah,
so it
yeah,
chains to the
literally on
caster.
Yeah.
So it's almost like that would be like seriously like an intercept for casters or ranged. Woo-hoo-hoo.
Alright, we're hitting 5 p.m., so I think we should start wrapping up the stream. We can answer one more final question before we wrap up.
Absolutely. Will there be option to test new karmas before buying them, similar to Monster Hunter maybe? That is a fantastic suggestion. But because getting to unlocking the karmas is a process, I'm curious, like if there's a way to interject, like especially if you're going to unlock or move through grinding matches, if you get to choose based on the efficiency of the karma, which NPC you actually lock first. So there's something that we're actually looking to possibly do, and that's I give a it doesn't matter. I know what you're talking about, because I was gonna say we can do walkthroughs, we can do tutorials and full-blown demonstrations. You know, have some of our more pro players start giving demonstrations about using certain karma in tandem with other karma for like
Karma preview.
Karma preview. No, but I mean even karma combo previews. Like if you're gonna use Blazing Fist with Talia. How, what's going to be the best way to use this to maximize either direct damage, intercept, crowd control, blah 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 blah.
Fancy combos.
Fancy combos. Fist, sword, karma pro right here. But see, we can do that, but if somebody else uses a different playstyle, your command entry may not work for them.
Yeah.
So being able to be hands-on and testing those karmas directly into DT Melee, PTSD.
Nothing wrong with double melee.
Is it, bro? You serious, bro?
Briss has come to.
I'm getting trolled. Seriously, this is ridiculous. Okay, so will there be esports tourneys? No comment. But that is a comment. But no further comment on esports. Are we really, really pushing hard on that? Absolutely. Will you guys see something? Absolutely. Can I promise through what venue, sponsors, and everything else like that? Will it be there? Yes. Can I tell you what's going on right now? Absolutely not. So, you'll see it. Any chance of ultimates that use both karmas? Oh, that would be... So literally, you have to create your own custom ultimate by putting together different karmas. That would be insane.
That would be insane.
Friend list is actually going to be an aspect of guilds, customizable guilds that are going in later.
Yes.
Kurzweil, are there any plans to add an emergency air dodge to the game? Bah. We'd have to basically create an entirely different dodge system for each class or each karma while it's in the air.
Yeah.
It has been mentioned before though, so the feedback has already been taken in for something like that.
Nice. Mana break. Because you can break them, but should they be allowed to mana break before they actually get stunned? What do you think? What's your feedback on that?
There's no mana breaks. There's no mana, so you have to break like what, the endurance?
Endurance.
The stamina?
Yeah.
So if they broke you, you're really, really stuck?
Yeah, like
I can get behind that somewhat. But it would take a lot of getting used to play around both attacking and holding stamina. It's a stamina break if you need it.
Burst system, yeah. If somebody plays DBZ. Actually, silence do not work like that. No. Okay, so anyway, just framing systems, Rice Flan. Yeah, you've been around playing some Brawl, huh?
Yes.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and hold off on this, guys. We're gonna have to stop you there. I know Pi was actually talking about a 1 hour and 30-minute stream last week, but because Pi, the reason why Pi had to go to Korea was he had to take care of family. So
send all your positive energies to Pi, please.
absolutely, he will be back, but it's going to be not this next week, but the following week. Please tell us more about old KOG games. Since this is a KOG game, I'm probably going to have to say stuff about KOG games. Will there be costumes that you can unlock through gameplay or maybe through events?
That could be a thing later on.
It might be a thing, absolutely.
Right now we want to get the game locked before we start thinking about too many events to line up for it.
Yes, there will be a guild system.
Mhm.
And a lot of people jumping in, later in the game, so we've kind of covered a lot. For the custom lobbies, players by finding it, or can the room creator themselves invite? That's what I need more information on. So you can actually search the room by the room creator's name. So if you got a buddy that created a room, search by room name and you'll be able to pop in.
Mention the community lobby too for people to be invited into rooms as well.
No, that's what I'm saying. We don't know.
we don't
That's
know
what
yet.
we. That's not confirmed.
Oh.
That is something that we have an L-sword that if they apply that would be perfect. So basically they queue up and go into the system,
Yeah.
but we didn't see
Yeah, it's an
confirmation
L-sword.
on that. Yeah, that's an L-sword. So if they bring that over, yeah, it'd be perfect. Which races can we create at the start of early access? Early access race is still going to be human. We haven't implemented the new races yet. What do all screen resolutions too big for? We're going to work on compatibility. You guys need to let us know. Well, we're familiar with a lot of the more run-of-the-mill or generic screen resolutions, but we're going to have to kind of parse that down to what screen resolutions we need to make available and how much is going to be generic. But if you think that there's something, so if you're playing like 6 different games and they still don't have your screen resolution or one that works for you, let us know.
Yes.
Alright, so you want to do a wrap up then?
Yeah.
And any other future questions that you guys would like to ask, please join the Kurzspell Discord. I'm sending it into the chat. We have a question section and a feedback and suggestions channel for you guys to post anything you want in there.
See.
And
Yes.
I'm going to read it.
Yes, Laura. Energy for Pi.
Yes, please.
And everybody, please give your positive energies to Pi.
Alright, with that, we'll see you guys next week.
Next week.
Same
Next
time,
week,
same
Thursday.
place.
You gotta look at my ugly face again too. Ah.
Yeah.
And then the next week you'll be able to look at Pi's ugly face. Oh, and I saw that dude who made that pie meme. Oh, I almost sprayed my coffee.
Yes.
That was fantastic. I love
Pie
that.
on pie.
That pie art. That was real pie.
Yes. Alright, guys, we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.